one big thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's only because for the past couple of weeks, both in Talking Nonsense and on our, movie reviews that people aren't going to hear for the next 100 years, we've gone back and forth. At least Lee and I have had a back and forth. Chuck, I don't really know where you stand, so maybe you can clarify. We've had a lot of talk about box office, how much stock we put into box office. Should we be looking at that, or should we be looking at some other metrics when we grade a film, right? Like, that's kind of the general idea. I am the person who's always going to look at the money and say, if you want Hollywood to give you better movies, pay with your wallet. And your league kind of on the side of, well, quality should be more important. Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Chuck, where do you stand on this?
So, as irony stands, this was the exact road I was going to go down. And I'll answer the question with this. I actually put up on our social medias a video of you talking about this.
Sure.
And saying that, if we want to watch more videos, people should, if we want to see more movies in the theaters, go and pay to see the movie. And
Sure.
a lot of the comments that are coming back are, when they stop requiring, $700 million to gross a movie, like you have to make over 500 million to make a profit.
Sure.
Then the cost of movies would go down, and then more people would go to the movie. So here's the thing. I think by principle that quality of the movie should be what ranks a movie by people's standard. However, the numbers, the money that comes in is what will continue to produce the same thing. So if people,
and for the record, I agree with both of you. In principle, the quality should be what carries a film. I just don't think that it is. It's not.
It's not. It's like,
so
most of what A24 quality wise is better than what Disney puts out. Story wise is better quality. Everything is a better quality film. It's grittier. It's better. But they're not going to make as much as Disney or Marvel because the money is not there yet. Which saddens me.
I wanted to illustrate my point. So I wanted to choose a year. And by happenstance, I chose the perfect year to illustrate my point. So when it comes to gross, when it comes to box office, I have the top 20 from 2019. Okay. And these are all movies that we all know, or we've all seen, or we've all heard of, and we understand why they do well. And then I'm going to name another movie that we've also all seen. So, number 10, Jumanji Next Level. Okay, Jumanji Next Level. Aladdin, Toy Story 4, Rise of Skywalker, Joker, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man Far From Home, Frozen 2, The Lion King, and Endgame. These are the movies that dominated the box office in 2019, okay?
Yep.
With the exception of maybe one movie on this list. The indie movie that I chose to compare it against, I think is leaps and bounds better than anything on this list that I just mentioned. It was Uncut Gems. With the exception of maybe Joker, I would say Uncut Gems is a better movie. Well, I would even say Endgame because Endgame is a bunch of CG. But if you want to throw Endgame in there with that, fine. But I would still say Uncut Gems is better than 80% of what's on that list.
Which just goes with which is exactly what I just said.
Exactly. But that's my point. A better movie, if people paid with their wallet, Uncut Gems would easily cancel out 80% of this.
Yeah.
Maybe not Rise of Skywalker.
I don't think it's a better movie. I don't think it's a better movie than Joker. I don't think Uncut Gems is a better movie than Joker. We're talking about quality. We're talking about quality. Yes, Joker. Okay. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. I do not think Uncut Gems is a better movie than Joker. Joker's the outlier here. Everything else on this list, I think Uncut Gems is a better movie than. I think Uncut Gems is a better movie than Endgame. I do. I think Uncut Gems is better acted. I think Uncut Gems is better directed. I think Uncut Gems has a better story going forward. And I think Uncut Gems isn't burdened by the 99.9% of CG that is in that movie. All right. On Endgame is popular because it's the crescendo. It's the end result of the
years
prior
of
15
amazing
or whatever
years.
years.
Yeah.
I understand that. I understand Endgame being on this list. I'm not going to take it off just simply because of that. But everything else, it's better than Rise of Skywalker. It's better than Toy Story 4. It's better than Captain Marvel. It was better than Far From Home. It was better than Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw that came out that year. It was better than Frozen 2. It was better than Lion King. This
Did you
is
see
illustrate.
Frozen 2?
I don't care to see Frozen 2.
Yeah,
I
you
did not
can't
hear
judge it
great.
then.
Really? You're really going to
Stop it.
argue Frozen 2?
I didn't
Stop
see
it.
those movies. I
Okay,
don't care.
but this I just
checking.
wanted to illustrate my point that this list right here this year perfectly encompasses why I believe that money is the only thing that matters to these studios. To studios, to movie theaters, to the machine, to the powers that be, to the awards and everything else, blah blah blah. Money is the only thing that matters. Uncut Gems should be easily in the top 5 of something like this, but it's not because the money wasn't there. If the money was there and more people had a chance to actually go out and see that movie, think about what it would have done for A24. Think about what it would have done for Adam Sandler's career. Like it would have breathed new life into everything that he did. He would have been offered the world if he actually got in front of more people. But I don't know. I hear what both of you are saying, and in principle, I agree. It should be quality. It's not. It's not. It's money. That's all that matters. And this is the reason why I think more people need to go out there and show with their wallets what they want to see and what they don't want to see.
And here's the crazy thing.
This is a movie that I think if more people saw this movie, it would chart. It doesn't chart in the top 20. It doesn't even chart in the top 20 of 2020. Even if you want to do that because it was in the theater during that transition, it's nowhere near it, and that's sad. I think
it's crazy because
I think
the
that's
budget,
a damn shame.
Yeah, the budget for Uncut Gems was 19 million.
Yep.
Which Endgame was what, 400 million? It grossed
19 million. That's a little bit over a low budget.
Yeah. It grossed $50 million. So
it made money.
It made money.
But the money was not there for that movie to be able to compete with everything else that I just mentioned.
Now imagine if most of the movies, because we talked about this when you brought up The Creator, and you were like, this movie that cost like $150 million to make that movie, or $90 million to make that movie, and the special effects in that movie were on par with everything Marvel was doing.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's like what, and I think to your point, to the user's point online with the thread that I put up, if movies didn't cost so much to make these days,
is true.
The cost of tickets would go down and more people would go. I mean, think about it. It costs now for one person to go what it cost for two to go 10 years ago.
Sure. No, sure.
Well, I think the hard part right now, if we're talking about going to the movie theater, what we have to consider too is the cost of food has gone up tremendously. And because I'm not just talking about, I'm saying in general, the cost of food has gone up a lot.
Cost of everything has gone up a lot. Cost of everything has gone up a lot.
But food has been huge because food is an absolute necessity for everybody, right?
Sure.
But since everything's gone up, even the stuff that's more gimmicky, like movie theater food. Movie theater food was already kind of expensive. Now it's like even more than that. So on
astronomical.
Top of it,
I hear what you're saying.
But on top of it, the thing is, the movie theater's still paying to get the food, but then people aren't coming to the theater, and those that do come to the theater do not buy the food.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's ridiculous how much it costs. I mean, now to go see a movie, it's $15. I used to go for $5. Right. In Revere when I was a kid. I remember that. I'm like, this is reasonable, $5. You get your allowance, you go see a movie.
Yeah.
It's simple. But now it's $15 or more to see a movie.
Yeah.
You used to have a date for $15.
Yeah.
When I was
whatever. Maybe we're old, but the point is, add that to the cost of food. It's like you want a drink, it's $7.
Right. When I was in
it's
my
like getting a beer at a baseball game.
I I hear what you're saying. I wouldn't get this point out. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. I think if you're over a certain age and you have a wife and you have a family and you have other responsibilities that you have to deal with, those are not the people that I'm generally talking to. Where it's
Right.
pay with your wallet. It's sub 25-year-olds who have a tremendous amount of disposable incomes because they're not burdened by a whole bunch of responsibilities yet. Those are the people that can go to the movie once a week and they can make a dent in a list like this and they can show it with their wallet. It's still possible. It's
Yeah.
not
Right.
it's not an impossible thing that I'm suggesting or advocating for. I
But
get
that's
it.
the reason why we're seeing, like you mentioned, and we already had this discussion, why you're seeing some of the movies that are making it the biggest and getting the biggest numbers is
Yeah.
because they're family movies.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why.
that too.
They're family movies because it's like, well, the only thing we can do as a family is let's go to the movies. Okay, kids, $89 for us all to watch this movie because you want popcorn and jujubes, as well as, a drink, and then you got to go to the bathroom 15 times. Like, oh, well, we're out here, let's get some cotton candy. It's ridiculous.
It's not
And
it's
that's
yeah. I can't.
people who are single. People who are single are less likely to go out and to go to the movie.
Of course they will.
It's the
Of course
people-
they're gonna still go to the movie. I was
People
at the
who are
theater
single
every.
are more
I was at-
likely to
I
do.
w- I
You
was at-
were.
I
You
was at the theater every weekend.
were.
Exactly. Were when I was under
Not anymore.
25.
Yeah, but your lifestyle, your situation hasn't changed. You don't have the kids and stuff like that and all the responsibilities. You
I
could
have
still
bills.
go. Nothing's changed.
I know. I have bills. I have bills up the wazoo that I have.
You
to
had
pay.
bills back then.
No,
Oh,
not like
anyway.
now. Not like
Okay.
now.
I just go for the lines in the movie theater.
Yeah.
What was that? Why did you rub your nose and say lines?
That's why.
Sorry. I come from a pretty checkered background, checkered history, so I just go for the lines.
Jesus.
What are you doing in the bathroom?
No, it's right.
Jeez, Chuck.
I know at the movie theaters now they give you that little tray table. It's dark. All you hear is
How was the movie? It was great. It was so good. It was so good.
no. When I was in my late teens, a friend of mine and I went to the movie theater every night in 1 week for seven nights. We saw it was weird. There was a different horror movie every night, and I went literally every night. At the end of that week, I was laying in bed and I was like, I'm not sleeping. I'm not. I can't. I sleep. I literally just watched a week of horror film. I'm like, no. And the weird thing was, I lived in a second story apartment. No, I was in my early 20s actually. I lived in a second story apartment. And all I'm thinking is like someone's gonna break through my window, and I'm trying to rationalize it in my head. I'm like, I'm on a second story. They're not breaking in through my window. But then all of a sudden, I'm like, I just watched a week worth of horror movies where anything can happen. Someone's breaking through my window. I'm just like, nope.
That's,
But the thing is, though, is I went every night for a week, every night.
yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't break the bank.
No.
Mm.
But again,
Like-
you are under
Yeah.
a certain age where it's like you had
But still-
disposable
But
income.
even so, it was still relatively cheap.
I
When
went
you-
for
if-
what it
if-
was to go to
True,
two movies.
okay,
Now I went
when
to
we
7.
were when we were younger, it was relatively cheap. Fine. We still have people out there who are under 25 who have jobs who are making well above what minimum wage used to be. They can
Mm.
afford to go to the movie
Yes.
once a week, a lot more than we can. That's the point, right?
Yep, I
all of
agree.
those people out there who can do that, pay with your wallet, show with your money the types of movies that you want to see, and you will see a shift in what is popular, so to
Right.
speak. If not popular, like again, I am not looking for anything to overtake what Endgame did. That would be ridiculous and foolish of me. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
Frozen 2 is on this list of top 20 grossing films from 2019, but Uncut Gems can't crack the top 20. Frozen 2. That's an atrocity. That is an absolute atrocity, smack in the face to filmmaking. It is.
It
I'm
really
sorry.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. The Lion King.
The live action
The
live
live
action
action
Lion
Lion King.
Listen to this. A24 Civil War.
That's
Estimated budget 50 million. It opening weekend it made 25, but Gross worldwide, it made $127 million. It
Yeah,
made 3 times what it
it made
made.
3 times what it was, but they
But that's the
don't
thing, though.
have.
Is imagine if these other bigger movies, instead of costing $400 million to make, and then it wanted to make its money,
Yeah,
like to do 3 times. If you think about it this way, Endgame is what was it, 450 million, something like that, 480. Let me see here. Endgame.
oh,
Avengers.
the budget.
Yeah. So let me see. Budget for Endgame. Budget was $356 million. Gross worldwide was 2.8 billion. So
$2.8 billion.
billion. But again,
Yeah,
it wasn't a standalone film. It was, to your point, it was the crescendo. It
sure,
was part 2. It was the second part of Infinity War. It
sure.
was the end all be all. There's not many movies that will match what that did in theater.
No.
So
And I did say it would be foolish of me to suggest
right.
otherwise. I'm not.
But
We're not doing that.
most Marvel movies that cost $350 to $400 million to make, when they're making $800 million, well, like Fantastic Four, I think its budget was just right around $300 million, and it didn't even break 600. It didn't even double it didn't even double what it cost to make it. Whereas Civil War almost tripled. I think that makes Civil War a more successful movie. A24 Civil War, a more successful movie
Sure.
than Fantastic Four, just because of the percentages. This one cost 50 million, but it made 150 million. This one cost
Okay.
350 million, but it only grossed 550. Which one
And
was more successful?
That right there, you're right. You're 100% right. When you're looking at those numbers, Civil War was successful. Uncut Gems was successful. However,
It's not popular.
it's not popular, and it's not raking in the billion-dollar price. You know what I mean? They're not doing that. So what are you supposed to do? It illustrates what I mean when I say the dollar is all that matters. When you look at what these movies gross worldwide compared to what an Uncut Gems grossed worldwide, it's ridiculous. But arguably, the quality of an Uncut Gems is better than anything that's on here, with the exception of Joker. That's my point. That's why I think
Joker was filmed. Joker was filmed like
yes,
an A24 film.
100%. There was no special effects mumbo jumbo. There was no CG, blah, blah, blah. That's why I say Joker's the only outlier on this list. But it still comes down to, what are people willing to pay? What are people willing to see? How much are people willing to pay? All of that. We can sit here all day and wish for the quality of something to stand out. Unfortunately, I don't think that's reality. I don't think that's reality. I think I illustrated that perfectly clear here. I don't know. Maybe this is like a PSA. If you want to see better movies, show them with your wallet. Don't just go online and talk about quality of film should be blah blah. Go pay to see the movie.
Yes. Let me share this one with you. Back in 2007, I Am Legend came out. Its budget was $150 million. Opening weekend, this film, would you classify this movie to be a success or a flop?
I Am Legend?
Yes, Will Smith's I Am Legend.
I think that's one of those movies that people discovered after it was out of theaters and it was like on HBO.
Yes and no. So opening weekend,
really?
It made 77 million. So opening weekend, it would have been a flop.
Yeah.
Gross worldwide, by the end of it, it made 585 million. So it made 3.5 times what it cost to make the movie.
Sure.
So overall, it was a success. But when you look at a movie like this, this was
this is where I do agree with Lee. I don't think that we should judge based on opening weekend. I think we should judge based on what the movie made when it left. That's where I do agree with him. Yep. So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, that's the thing. Like when you look at, let's see here, Fantastic box office for Fantastic Four. It grossed over 525 million worldwide, which isn't good for a Marvel movie.
No, it's not good for a Marvel movie.
When you're comparing a Marvel movie and it cost 300 million to make it. Again, it did not
I wonder
even
if
double.
I wonder if that's Pedro Pascal fatigue. I wonder if that has something to do with that.
Maybe.
I think
he's
it's
oversaturated right now.
I think it's
so-
a Pedro Pascal. I think we talked about, Tron Ares, and Lee said, one, it's a Disney thing, and two, it's a Jared Leto thing. I wonder with
right.
Fantastic Four if one, it's a Marvel thing, and two, it's a Pedro Pascal fatigue thing. It could be, when you oversaturate the market with one actor, you're like, okay, I've had enough. Like enough is enough. I think
Sure.
the one thing that A24 could do differently is instead of using actors that were once something and trying to make them something different, is get actors who are relevant today. Like it's great that Brendan Fraser was brought back in with A24. It's
Sure.
great that what's her name in Civil War was brought back in, who played Mary Jane. What's
Kirsten
her name?
Dunst, yeah.
Kirsten Dunst. It's great that these people are brought back in,
Sure.
but I mean, to be honest, they're not relevant anymore.
They're not relevant today.
If they got a name that was relevant today, like if they recast Oscar Isaac for something today, it'd be a different story. Because
they have.
not in
that Frankenstein movie.
We'll see how that does. We'll see how that
We'll
does.
see how that.
Them
We'll see how
using-
that turns out.
Right.
Is A24 doing the Smashing Machine?
I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
So with using Dwayne Johnson, that might actually get them into that blow up thing
Maybe.
because now they're using
Maybe.
a name that is relevant today.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that looks.
Have you seen him lately though? Does he look like he lost a ton of weight?
he
like in his
he
face,
did a
like,
lot. He did a lot for that role. It wasn't.
Yeah.
He went through a cold transformation. There was prosthetics on his face and everything else. Yeah, he went
Yeah,
through a
yeah.
whole thing for that movie.
Yeah,
The
he
thing
is-
looks almost like extremely unhealthy at this point.
The
I don't know if
things
that's-
that actors put themselves through to
It's
play in
nuts.
these movies, it's
Yeah.
stupid.
it is insane.
It's nuts.
It's
Oh, yeah.
like Christian Bale when he did the fight.
Christian
was it The
Bale and the
Fighter?
Machinist.
Yeah.
Machinist, yes.
The Machinist.
Where he went
that's the
like-
one. I mean, the Fighter, yes, but the Machinist was like.
Yeah, but he
dude,
went like
you...
bulimic or he went something.
Yeah, he did, and then immediately after that, bulked up to like what 290 pounds or something ridiculous for Batman.
Yeah.
Like he got huge right after the Machinist. It's
Christian Bale in
insane what he
Fighter?
went through. No, in the Machinist.
No, but Christian Bale in the fighter or
Fighter.
whatever it
In
was.
the Fighter.
He was skinny. He was deathly looking throughout that movie.
Yep.
No, he was, but did you see the Machinist? It was even
Yes.
further than that.
I saw.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
Or
I
like
have to watch
Jake,
it.
or like Jake Gyllenhaal when he did Southpaw, he just got stacked, and you're like,
Yeah.
how is this Jake Gyllenhaal? Or even Zac Efron when he came out and did Baywatch, you're like,
Yeah.
how did you go
Jeez.
from High School Musical to this, like
Wow.
overnight? Like he was obviously roiding it up because I mean
Well, he had that whole jaw surgery too, which they said was like a medical necessity or something.
that was
but
after the fact. But
that was after. Yeah,
when
he
you
did the
looked
iron-
at Zac
iron jaw or
Efron,
whatever.
yeah, when you looked at Zac Efron standing next to The Rock in Baywatch, or Dwayne Johnson now, you're like they're both stacked.
They were close.
They were
Yeah.
close. But this is Zac Efron. This is
Yeah.
Disney Channel's Zac Efron. Like what the heck? And
Well, you should see what they'll do to Jay Baruchel when he goes onto the sequel.
playing Eddie Murphy.
I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw Space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Harry Carey Rock. I need scissors. 61.